Hey, I had something I wanted to talk about today that I don't know if I've ever said in another video. I know it's definitely a principle that I live by, so I can't think of me ever saying it in a video, and if it had come up before, I'm sorry, it just wants to come up now. Obviously, if it's coming up now, it's still going to be different. But I wanted to talk about a principle that is so big, and to me, it's the difference between motivation and intention. I think a question most of us unconsciously ask when we're in an achiever type mindset is, how do I get that? How do I get $1 million? People go to events, people read books. So will this get me that girl back? Will this get me that job? Will I fall in love? Will I get married? Will I, become a millionaire, a billionaire? Will I have the biggest company in the world? So there's people that ask that question, how do I get that? And what I like to ask myself is something very different, because it's a completely different thing. And the question that I ask is, what would I have to become for it to be normal for that to be in my life? One thing is I change the situation, and the other thing is I change me. Some of us really learn how to go after something we want, and we don't change ourselves. We just become more motivated, we become more pushy, we become more naggy. There are people that right now want to learn how to make tons of money, and then there are seminars that literally say, I'm going to teach you how to make a bunch of money. And they do, but they don't change themselves. So they teach you how to get in their face and how to, create scarcity and scare audience members or your clients into buying your stuff, and then you make a bunch of money, but you haven't changed you. You're still using manipulation and fear, and if you're doing that, think about this, you're not changing you. And if you are the one that really thinks you need to get something to be happy, and you're not changing you, then when you get all those things, you're still going to be the incomplete person who needs stuff to be happy, and you're going to either be forced into being motivation all the time and trying to keep that stuff, or you're going to lose it because you don't have a foundation in you that's able to receive that stuff. When you move from trying to get the thing first versus trying to change yourself, you can't sustain the thing. You're saying, this person completes me, this person completes me. You go on the date, you're trying to be with them. They are your source of air, they're your happiness, they're everything. Well, what if they leave you? Now you're codependent, right? They're your happiness. But you can also change you and get to a place where all those things that you think you want just kind of show up in your life, because you're making yourself number one, and you're making your connection to yourself a bigger thing. Because what you are at the core, under all of the layers of crap that we've collected and been taught by society and see in the world, what you are in the core is totally worthy of having really incredible things and being and experiencing and doing really incredible things. But your ego creates a story that says you're not able to sustain that, you're not able to have that. And so then we learn motivation and achievement, and we go, I'm going to go get that thing to prove that thing wrong. And then we go try to get that, and look, I have a goal, I have this thing, and boom, 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 and now I'm getting. And then you're just this person who gets to have a bunch of stuff, but really doesn't get to experience what you are, and really doesn't get to enjoy those things on a real level, because now your life is just holding these things that you just got. So what's the alternative? Asking yourself, what would you need to become to where it's normal for that thing to come into your life? So let's say there's something you really want. Think of a person you really, really want. I have a video called If You Want Something You're Not Ready For It. But imagine if it was possible for you to not necessarily need that person or that job or that career or that income. But instead you replaced the outside need with a self-connection through meditation, through different exercises, through creativity. Have you ever had it where you create something for the whole day and you actually don't necessarily want something? You feel so in the pocket, so in the zone. You feel good and you feel fulfilled. So you feel less needy and less addictive, right? Well, life really wants us to live there more. And the more that we live in our creativity, in our self-connection, in our connection to ourself, in our selflessness, like meaning just doing things for the world that are charitable, or spending your time, whatever, doing something, forgiving people that are going through a hard time, or giving love, or picking up trash, or doing something for the world, becoming selfless and feeling a connection with yourself that stops you from being this needy person that needs something outside of you to be happy, and you feel fulfilled. Imagine if you did the work to become that. If you just kept writing your book instead of wanting that thing outside. If you just kept, what would you need to become for it to be normal for that thing that you think you wanted or better to come into your life? Normal. Because if it's exciting, that's great, but it also means you're not worthy of having it. When you're like, I can't believe this thing's in my life, you're saying, it's not something I believe I'm supposed to have. If you I can't believe I have $1 million, you're going to lose it right away, because you're thinking of it as bigger than you the second you say that. So if you have a story that you're less than that, this is horrifying. So that's why people sabotage sometimes incredible opportunities, amazing relationships, really good incomes, a really good life, because they believe they're not worthy of having it, because they think who they are is the minimal person. Which is why you have to experience and prove to yourself that what you are is more than that. So think of something huge that you really want. And as Wayne Dyer says, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. You got to become what you are. And when you go, well, that thing, you might go, I did do that and it didn't come into my life. Well, then it wasn't supposed to. That meant you still got work to do. Because if you're saying that to prove a point, that might mean you still want it and you're still egoically trying to get it. But this is how it works. This is physics. What you put out is what you get back. What are you putting out? Are you putting out I have to get? Or just what you are, what you want to become? So change it to, what would I have to become? Then you start to see yourself going inward, because everything you're getting from the outside is a reflection of what you are inside, what you see yourself as inside. Do you have a new compassion for yourself? Can you keep growing? Are you skyrocketing past that old story? Do you believe that you're worthy of something incredible? Truly? Truly. Not like I really need it. That's not worthy of it. Feel that. Feel this place in your heart. Take a deep breath and feel this place where everything's fine and you don't need that thing so much. Feel that thing beating your heart and tell it all the things that you really want, and then listen to it for a second. You start to feel relaxed. You start to feel okay, and you start to feel like maybe I have everything I need. If you really want to get far, what would I have to become to really, really, as a byproduct, impact the planet? What would I have to become? Like immediately when I ask that, my mind goes, you have to get away for a while. You have to keep your meditation going. You have to let go of, these few addictive things still. You have to feel your heart more frequently. You have to spend more than 50% of your day just going for a walk, sitting by the beach. That's what the answers are for me today. And then the insights that come through, you'll be able to say with more clarity, and more people will understand it. What would I have to be for that thing to happen because of me? And then the only thing you work on is you. And trust that the right things will just show up in your life. Just work on you.